Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I'm so happy to be with you here today. It is Thursday, which means it's time for my weekly simple and stepped up stamping. We always start with hashtag simple stamping, and that is stamps, ink, and paper. And featuring this month, stamps, ink, paper, plus something from Celebration. And I'm actually using paper from Celebration as well. Hey, Melissa, I'm glad you're here with me today. Thanks for joining me live. You know, for those of you who watch after the, when you're watching the replay, you're watching the recording, if you'll just put in the comment section replay, I love to know that you're watching, and that helps me. So be sure to, sorry, I've got a little itch right there. Not very attractive on camera. But you know when your nose is itching, you're like, so anyway, I would love for you to let me know that you are watching with me. And of course, I forgot to turn off my notifications. Hey, Marlene, you're here today, bright and early with me. I'm actually right on time, which I'm always impressed with myself when I'm on time. For other people, you know, it's the norm. Yeah, that's not the norm for me. So I'm always really impressed with myself when I'm on time. Hey, Jackie, I'm glad you're here with me today. Hello, Penny. Welcome. We are enjoying the height of summer in San Antonio, Texas. And I say enjoying because it's in a really mild summer. And usually this is the time of year where I just feel like I'm dying, and it's just, you know, it's just unbearable heat, and it's been really mild this year. So I'm grateful. In the midst of, you know, a world in turmoil, I'm grateful for something as simple as pleasant weather. But we're going to escape from all of the news and what's going on in your world, personal world, and the national and international world. Whatever's going on, we're going to escape all of that, and we're going to make something pretty with stamps, ink, and paper. So let me go ahead and bring the camera down, and let's see where we're going to start today. I'm going to give you just a quick reminder. Tomorrow is the last day that you can register for this month's Cards with a Twist. And I am featuring Shaded Summer. This is my monthly card class by mail. I always take a single stamp set, and we make 8 cards with it. And let me see, let me get down the camera a little better. So tomorrow's the last day, and to sign up for this, because I got to get these packets out in the mail to you next week. Hi, Linda. I'm glad you're here, and welcome, Susan. So I will tell you, I've had so much trouble with this stamp set. I've called it Summer Shadows umpteen gazillion times, but it's actually Shaded Summer, and it's a lovely annual catalog stamp set. But Stampin' Up! Has given us the opportunity to earn dies that coordinate. Now, you get these dies with a $100 order, but I've given you the option of getting them with my class as just a class perk. When you add on a couple of things that add up to $59.75, I think, I'm giving you the dies for free. So, oh, Gail, you got your stamps and dies yesterday. Very good. And Twyla, I'm glad you've signed up for my class. So the basic class, I say basic, it's actually a pretty hefty class. You get all the prepared supplies for these 8 cards. And I call this Cards with a Twist because each set of 2 cards, I'm giving you basically the same supplies for the same 2 layouts, but I twist them a little bit. So, you know, I do all kinds of little twists, and that is just something that I really enjoy designing that way, and I think it helps to show you the many ways that you can use the same set of stamps, inks, and papers and make some fun different designs. You do get a half a pack of this gorgeous Harvest Meadow Designer Series paper. You get a full pack of these lovely new metallic dots, and look how they come in different metallics, 3 different metallics. And then you get several yards of the linen thread, which is really just a staple. You do get your 8 envelopes as well. That's $35, and it does include shipping. All of your die cuts are done for you with my Cards with a Twist class. these die cuts, things like that. The only thing that's not done for you is when, if you have to stamp it before you die cut it, I give you the piece that you can stamp and die cut. So tomorrow's the last day to sign up, so make sure that you are done with that. Okay, let's get on to today's project. I am going back to Penguin Place. Let me show you, I think. Here is the paper, which is free with a $50 order during celebration. And it's called Penguin Playmates. Isn't it adorable? I love, love, love this paper. I think it's super fun, very playful, and I think would delight anyone. I think you don't have to be young to enjoy this paper. I think it would bring a smile to anyone. Really fresh color palette. Look at all the different colors. And you know what's great about this? If you don't have all of the Stampin' Up! Colors of cardstock, you could have just 2 or 3 and still have great success with this paper. So, Linda, the kit is $35. If you're adding on the stamps and the ink, and there's a couple of other things in my little add-on that's $57, then you do get the dies for free, where you would typically have to place a $100 order to get them for free. So just a clarification on that. It is a perk because I'm giving you the add-on items actually at cost. So you are saving shipping and tax, and then you're getting them at catalog price, and then I'm throwing in the dies as well for less than what you would pay. Okay, so that's the paper. And this was Teach Me Tuesday. We were doing this fun shaker card. And this little penguin is so much fun. I realized later, I think I stamped his beak upside down, but that's okay. I think that just kind of adds to his whimsical nature. So let's look at doing something super simple with our Penguin Place stamp set today. Now, I've gone ahead and just for time's sake, I have done a little bit of pre-cutting. So I decided that I wanted to maybe do one card base with Smoky Slate and one with Fresh Freesia. And that kind of gives me a more masculine and a more feminine take on the same things. So, gosh, I can't get into camera correctly today. So I'm going to do stamps, ink, and paper to start with, and then we're going to do a little bit of stepping up. So this is where I'm going. These are, is that better? These are just our traditional card bases, half a piece of cardstock, scored in the center, and then I've done a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of black, because I'm going to put a piece of designer series paper over it. And you can see how when you use this piece of paper, well, I'm using the same piece of paper on both, it has a more feminine palette when you use the Fresh Freesia as a base, and it has a little bit more of a more neutral or masculine palette when you use the Smoky Slate. So what I'm thinking of is here is for a grandson and a granddaughter, something along those lines. And I have done a little strip like so, is what I'm thinking. So I strategically did not do this at its full length. So I think I'm probably going to go like this. You know what? Let's do our simple with the Freesia base, and we'll do our stepped up over here. Okay, I think that will work. And I don't know that that's going to give me the look I'm wanting. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see what I've got in my little bag of tricks over here. Some little bits and pieces of paper. Maybe a little bit of that. I need something to kind of delineate those two little tiny pieces of paper. So let's see if this, maybe we'll do just a little thin strip of cardstock. Remember, I'm keeping it to stamp, ink, and paper. So no, I'm not doing any embellishments on this. I'm not using any kind of punch on this. you know, I'm keeping it super, super simple. And in that vein, let's see, I want that fox in there. See, I really like that little fox. He's so cute. So maybe if we do that, and maybe that's just going to be, maybe that's going to be too much, but let's see. I don't want to have to stick it, I don't want to stick it down yet in case I don't like it. So I'm thinking that's where I'm going to go. Bring this down a little bit so we can see our layers. You know what? I think I'm going to chop the top off of this just a little bit and give a little bit more room for that. So let's bring this down. I had originally cut this at 3.5. Let's bring this down to 3.25. Still trying to keep my foxes in there. Oh yeah, I think that's going to be better. See how I've got a little bit more of this fresh freesia in there now. Then it doesn't look like it's a mistake. I wanted just a little bit of contrast there. And it's not much at all. It's a wee little bit. So I think that's going to work. And then I'm going to put a greeting across here. I think I can do it like that and still see my fox. Okay. I'm going to put a greeting across there, and I have a couple of choices. That's going to drive me crazy. Okay, let's go back to square one. I'm going to either use, that is mint macaron. Hey Lisa, I'm glad you're here. I'm either going to use mint macaron or I'm going to use just jade. I think the just jade is stronger, and I think that's definitely where I'm going to go. And I wanted to do this as not a holiday card. I wanted to do this as just a little fun card. I wanted to use this cute greeting that says, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I like you a lot. That's the one I want to use. I think these little guys that are playing out in the snow, I think that is the perfect kind of scene for I like you a lot. So let's get this going like so. I like you a lot. And let's see if maybe that would be better going across there. No, that's way too wide. You know what I think we're going to do? Let's see. Actually, I think I just figured it out. Let's do that, and let's put our I like you a lot right down here. That, oh, I'm using the wrong color. That is going to be just the ticket. I think that would work. So let's see what we can do with our stamps, ink, and paper. And maybe we're going to use that for I like you a lot. Okay. Let's see. See, this was only in my head, so we're getting to play a little bit. But that's part of the fun. Okay, what do we think about that? I think that's better than as much as I was trying to bring out the colors of the fox, I think that was just not working. So I just need a longer piece of this. This is a scrap, and it's got a crease in it because it was a mistake. So let me get a bigger scrap. And actually, let's see, does this fit? Oh yeah, happy day. See, that's already embossed. See, that was left over from something. So I'm going to just use that. Hey, Kathy, I'm glad you are here. We're just kind of playing a little bit. And let's see. This is 1/4 inch. So let me give just 1/4 inch like so. Haha, now we're cooking. And that is just a little bit too long. So let's whack that off. 1/4 inch there. Okay, now, oh, you know what? That's been embossed. Oh, well. That's okay. I'm liking that pretty well. What do you think? Do we like that little bit of green at the bottom? Yay or nay? Because then what I'm thinking we can do is let's get a little piece of, this is our fresh freesia. I'm just going to use the black ink, keeping it super simple again today. So I like you a lottle. And then the part that goes on the inside is, it's like a little, but it's a lottle. I think that's just adorable. Yeah, I didn't do very well. You know, sometimes on these thin photopolymer stamps, if you press too hard with one side and not the other, don't give it even pressure, you end up with some of the letters are a little bit fat and some of them are skinny. Okay, that is better, much, much better. Now, let's see what we can do here. Do we want to just put it, where should we put it? I think I need a little bit more black cardstock. Let's see. And a little bit of black. And this is looking a little bit plain, so I think we're going to have to do a little something, even though we're keeping it super, super simple. Let's get the paper over here and see what else we can find. Because we're keeping it at Stamps, Ink, and Paper, but this paper has so many cute prints. So let's just see if we can add. I'm thinking that if we add a little black surround here, that's going to set that off. I like that, but I don't like this. That is just throwing me. I'm not totally sure. Maybe I just need to, oh, how about if I trim this? There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see what we can do. This is 3 1/4, so let's make this 3 1/2. I think we got a little bit of inspiration here. So I'm just going to have to think a little bit differently. That, I like that much, much better. Then I can put my greeting right down here. Oh yes, now we're cooking. And let's see what else we can do here. It may be that I don't need to do anything else. This is the purple, what's on the back of this? This is the one that has, oh, the little trees on the back. Oh, let's see. I know I'm totally off the cuff here. I'm looking for, oh, looky there. That's that little guy right there. So I'm going to do something I don't normally do. But I will say it's something that we do teach new stampers, and that's fussy cutting. Because fussy cutting allows you to take any of your stamped images or your designer series paper images and use them in such a way that you can then crop them out of a scene. You can pop them up with dimensionals. You can do all kinds of things with them. And I used to say I was allergic to fussy cutting. But there are some items, some images that are easy enough to fussy cut that I don't fuss too much. Fussy, to me, is a good name for fussy cutting. And I will say also that our paper snips are the best $10 you'll ever spend. I mean, they are tremendous. They're sharp all the way to the tip. They're perfect for doing little things like this and so much more. So I think this little fox, I just love him. I think all these critters are adorable, but you know, I have a Welsh Corgi and they look like little foxes. So I can pop him up like so. I can pop him up, or I might pop him up over here. So let's see what we can do here now. Oh, nope, nope, leave it alone, Candy, leave it alone. Okay, let's get some adhesive going here and let's see what we can do to take our Stamps, Ink, and Paper card and make it look really special. Something super simple can be really special. There we go. Let's lay this down with a little bit of our seal adhesive. Not using anything fancy here. This is just our Designer Series paper, which is free with a $50 order right now. And it coordinates with this adorable stamp set. So I think that when you get the bundle, I was looking at it earlier, I think the bundle is, I don't know, like $32, something like that. It's really, really affordable. And then you can just top that order up to $50 and then you get the paper for free. I think that's pretty amazing. So what we're gonna do is we are going to stamp our greeting, I like you a lot'll, right down here. Perfect, yay. Now, it looks a little bit plain, but we're gonna do a little something with it. I need a little something behind my fox. So let's see what we can do. Do we want to put a little bit of black behind him? I think that might be really nice to make him stand out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of liquid glue and let's just frame our little fox. You know, I think that one of the things you do when you have a limited number of supplies to use is you have to get a little bit more creative. And that's part of why I like this Stamps, Ink, and Paper challenge, as it were. I like to challenge myself to use my supplies in a way that maybe I wouldn't have, or maybe if I didn't have a whole room full of supplies, I would come up with something different. So that is going to be my little fox. And since I have this black mat here, I think this is going to work very, very well. So all I'm doing is making a little black mat for my fox. And all I've done is fussy cut my fox and then glued him down to a little scrap of black cardstock. And this is truly a Stamps, Ink, and Paper card. And then our next one, we're going to step it up just a little bit. But we're not going to step it up with anything really fancy. We're just going to step it up with some ribbons and embellishments. You know, those little things can make all the difference. So if you don't have a stamp and cut and emboss yet, if you don't have some of our tools, then you can still make a super cute card. Oh, I don't want to really cover him. I think I'm going to cover up that little fox right there, and I'm going to put him up on dimensionals. I like you a lot'll. Because I don't really want to block any of these. Now I could put him up here, but I think down near the greeting is going to be my spot of choice. So let's see, Stamps, Ink, and Paper. Boom, we did it. Super sweet, super simple. Love, love, love this paper. I think it's a must-have. Oh, I gotta put my greeting on the inside. Now, where did my stamp set go? My stamp set is right here. It's like a little, except a lot. So let's get that. It is here. And I'm going to pop it right like that. And then I can go to the inside. Oh, and I can put it right smack in the middle. And I could even stamp a little penguin in there. It's like a little, except a lot. I think that is adorable. Perfect. I like you a lot. It's like a little, except a lot. Super, super simple. Super, super simple. So hopefully, if you've never done this before, hopefully you're inspired to do a little bit of fussy cutting when you have creatures this cute. I think it is definitely worth some fussy cutting. Now I am going to come along here with my Wink of Stella and just give my fox a little hit with the Wink of Stella to make him shine, and that just brings it up just that one other little level so that he is very much the star of the show. So there is card number 1 done. Now let's move on to card number 2. And let's see what we can do with a little bit of embellishment. Now remember, I'm going to use a smoky slate card base. I am going to trim this down just like I did before. What did we trim it down to? We're going to trim this down to 3 3/4. Let's see. Doesn't seem right. No. You know what? I think I cut these 2 different. Yeah, no wonder. I cut these a little bit different. So this one is not going to have as much space at the bottom, so I will definitely be adding a little banner for my greeting, but that's going to just kind of serve my purposes quite nicely. Let's go ahead and stick our paper down, and hopefully you are falling in love with this paper like I am. You know, I was thinking about if any of you ever take Christmas cards to someone in a nursing home. I'm telling you, this would bring a smile very quickly to someone who is needing to smile. Somebody who is maybe infirm, maybe somebody who's elderly, maybe somebody who is, you know, not with their family during the holidays or something. Now, I was thinking, this is, what do we call this? Metallic mesh ribbon. You know what I like about this is it looks kind of spidery, it looks kind of icicle-y, and I thought that might be a fun little dressing up. And then we could cinch it up with that. So let's just go ahead. I think I'm just going to go with that because I think it's going to be just the ticket. I had some other ribbons here, but I'm wanting this to be really gender neutral, and I think this is going to keep it that way for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my seal all around the edges of this panel, and that is going to allow me to take my mesh ribbon and just lay it across there, and that's going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It's going to keep my ribbon where I want it, and boom. Very, very nice pops of silver. Now I'm also going to take this twine, which is part of that pack. This is a 3-pack. You get this twine that has a silver thread in it, along with, I think you get the Just Jade gingham, and then you get the, I think you get some plain white twill ribbon. So it's a really nice 3-pack. But that's where this is coming from, and that's why there's not a name on the outside that tells us the name of it, because I think it's like, this was from the Flowers for All Seasons last year, and it carried over into the annual catalog. So what I like to do with ribbon that's really thick like this is I like to cinch it up. So let's do that. Well, let's tie it through here. Now, you see how neat that looks? And then I'm going to tie just a simple little bow here because I can. And that's even facing sideways, which is going to suit my purposes very nicely. Let's get that. We don't need those tails quite so long. So one more little trim. And then, you know, this is picking up the blue And this is picking up the gray from the polar bear. So that's where, you know, depending on the colors that you use will depend on kind of what you're picking up. Now I could add my greeting with this green, this Just Jade, and that kind of keeps everything in really kind of neutrally, well, not super feminine colors is what I was wanting to kind of stay away from. Now I could use my greeting in black. I don't really want to cover up any of these critters, but I think I'm going to have to get my greeting on there. Ooh, I could do it. Maybe I could do it right across there. No, it's going to look kind of funky. Let's see. What can we do here? What can we do and keep everybody visible? I'm going to take, while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to add some sequins. Now, I have had in the past a love-hate relationship with the fine tip glue pen. This is a phenomenal adhesive. It's super, super strong. The challenge with it is getting the lid back on, because what's great about this is it has this little needle which goes into this needle, which is what keeps it from getting stopped up. But you have to get, it's ever so tiny. So it takes a minute to get it in there. Now the other challenge with this is that although it dries clear, it's shiny. And so if you end up with glops of this, it's really untidy looking. So you have to use it with a very spare hand. I do warn you of that. However, it is the best way to adhere small embellishments that are not self-adhesive. And these are those same subtle shimmer sequins that I used on Tuesday, well actually yesterday. And so what I find is the best bet with this is to use this and dot it where you want it to go, and then go back and add your sequins. So I'm just going to place 3 dots there and maybe 2 more over here, and that's it. Oh, I'm sorry I froze on you, Melissa. I'm not freezing on my end, so hopefully it's only for a second or 2. Now I'm trying to get my lid back on. There we go, I did it. Now, the other thing that is going to be really useful for you when you're adding sequins is your pick a tool, because this is where that putty end really, really shines for you. I've got a little bit too much putty there. So let's take that sequin and put it there. See that little bit of shine? And sometimes what I like to do is take the other end of pick a tool, take your pick, I always get this, I get the name mixed up, and just press it a little bit to make sure it really stays in place. Now I'm going to grab a white one and put it on that little dab of glue, and then just press it into place. And then I'm going to get one of these really, well, that's another white. Let's get a silver one. Where did my glue go? I think my glue's there. Oh, I got more than one. There we go. So they are a little bit, you know, detailed. They're a little bit fiddly, but to me, these sequins, I've liked these sequins better than any we've had in a very long time. So I thought, you know what? They're worth it. They are worth it. And again, they're really, really affordable. They don't cost much, and they don't really take any kind of special, you know, special tools, as it were. Yes, I'm using take your pick, but to me, if you're going to start crafting, you need this. This is one of those essential tools. So now I've got a little bit of sparkle up here and a little bit of sparkle here, and it's really coming along, definitely dressed up compared to my first one. So this is definitely my stepped up version. So let's go ahead and stamp I Like You a Lottle on this piece of Just Jade cardstock. And let's see if we can find a little place for it where it's not going to cover up my cute little animals. this is quite the mess I'm making here, but we'll clean it up when I'm off camera. Okay, I like you a lot, and I'm going to just take this, did it again. Do what I tell you, not what I'm doing. What's the saying? Do what I say, not what I do. I pressed too hard on one end, so I ended up with kind of a splodgy thing. Let's see. Under the penguin. Okay, that's a good idea. I am going to go ahead and flag this end, and you know for me, I'm always going to choose to use my tailored tag to flag it. And, you know, the other thing I find when I'm doing my simple and stepped up with y'all is it's my little exercise in restraint. Under the penguin. Oh, over here. Oh, now that's kind of a cute idea. Right there. It's still a little bit too big. You know what? I think if I do it here, I cover up the polar bear, but you can't really tell I've covered him up. So I just need to trim this down a little bit more and then make it really trim. And then I think it's going to be under the penguin, just like Melissa was suggesting. And even though we're covering up one of our polar bears, it doesn't look like it, you know. It's not like we're chopping him in half like we would with a fox here, or if we did it over here. We're actually, this isn't bad placement at all, but it does look a little bit like it's not quite where it should be. I tend to like my greetings on the right. Now, having said that, it would probably look better if the flag were going in this direction. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. So let's just grab another little piece. I've got another little scrap of just jade, and let's try it again, because sometimes those little changes, those little things make a big difference. And I don't want to look at my card and say, it needs something, I don't like it. I need to like a card before I'm going to send it. So I want my words to be this way and my flag to be on the left side. I like you a lot. It's like a little, but it's a lot. Again, if you're sending something to someone, I think this would bring a smile to absolutely anyone. Anyone at all would be tickled over images, over the sweet little greeting. Oh, Susie, I didn't know you were here. Couldn't you put the sentiment in the upper right-hand corner? Oh, now there you go. I could do that. If I do, I'm going to put more sequins down here, or I can put it down here. So I need some votes. I can do it in the lower right-hand corner. Move some of this stuff out of the way. Or I can do it in the upper right-hand corner. That's a little bit unexpected, which is kind of nice, and add some more sequins down here. So tell me what you think. I think that might be just the ticket, Susie. Yeah, upper. Okay, we have more than one vote for the upper. Let's do it. I think it's a little unexpected, which I often like. Oh, now you know what? I just found this. I could use that. Oh boy. Instead of this, I could go with this. Tell me what you think. While I'm putting on some more sequins, tell me what you think about the black and white gingham ribbon. I like you a lot. That gingham ribbon kind of just makes a really cute statement. Let's add 3 more sequins down there at the bottom. And that is going to be just the right little touch. Thank you for making a great suggestion. You know, this is why I love stamping with you guys. And this is why I don't come, just my preference for stamping. This is why I bring a few ideas with me and a few pre-cut pieces. And then I like to do virtual designing with you, where you tell me what you think, and together we design together, and we end up with something that is a kind of a community project. And I just, you know, I would not have thought of that. And that is the fun. That is the fun. That's where it feels like we're in card class together. Ah, there we go. I've got one extra here. There we go. Okay, Jackie likes the ribbon. I think I do too. You know, I brought it over here and I forgot it was in my basket. And then I looked up and went, oh, I think that might need to be on that card. I think especially with the gray card base, the smoky slate card base, I think it actually is really cute. And this black and white gingham, I'm telling you, if you guys have not put this on your order yet, I think this is a must-have. It's a 1/4 inch. It's so versatile. And let me show you what else we could do with this if we're just wanting to bring it a little bit more. Let's see. I've got Just Jade blends, and look what happens when you add that blend. Do we like that on there, or do we like the black and white? So I'm going to wait for some opinions, because I think now we're getting where we're going to start speaking up. Speak your mind. So there it is with a little bit of color. There it is in just the black and white, and I'm going to take this off so it doesn't kind of fool our eye and give us too many things to look at. So tell me what you think. The other thing about this fine tip glue pen is that once it's dry, your sequins are they're really strongly adhered. Okay, so it makes the ribbon too dark. Okay, so we're going to stick with the white. But it is nice to know that you can do that. I think you're right about it being too dark, because this is such a whimsical design and the colors are so light and just very sweet. It's a very sweet design with these cute little critters. Playful Penguin Playmates is what it's the name of this paper, and I think it's just very aptly named. Now let's do just a little bow here. And voila. Oh, I do like that. Oh my. You know, that's where just those little touches, those little embellishments, all we added was some ribbon and some sequins. That's it. But it did step it up considerably, considering we only added a couple of items. Oh, I guess I need to put this down. We did flag the end here, but that's not really you know, it's a tiny little stepping up. It's not anything out of the ordinary. Let me put a few of these things away so I can find my glue dots. And that is going to be our cards for today, our simple and stepped up stamping. Let's get the, okay. Now here's my greeting. Let's find the mini glue dots are somewhere. Oh, I never got them out. So I do find that when you have these little thin strips like this, the easiest thing is just to put them on glue dots. I could pop this up on dimensionals, but I think actually the straight on is a better fit for this, so that all of our pretty little sequins and our little ribbons just really make it sparkle and bring that little bit of difference. So let me bring in, here's our simple, and here's our stepped up. Let me make sure they're both in camera. Oh, I gotta put my greeting on the inside still. Let me just clean up my mess here a little bit. Bring this up a little. Maybe I should bring them side by side. so they fit in the camera just a little bit better. Oh, I'm tidying up really well. Again, I have to congratulate myself on things like tidiness and punctuality, because they are, you know, I'm in my 60s and they have been lifelong struggles for me. You'd think at some point these things would no longer be a struggle, but no. I'm still battling the same things. So there we have simple and stepped up. Using the same basic supplies, because we used the same piece of designer series paper, and changed up the card bases just to kind of give some variety. And then we added some ribbons and sequins to one. We have our little fussy cut fox on the first one. And amazing what you can do with just a little something. So I hope that you've enjoyed my simple card making with you today. I have. It's very fun. I like you a lot. Now I need to put my little greeting on the inside. Here we go. And I think what we'll do is, let's take another strip of this Just Jade, and let's use that on the inside. I will say, the other thing I love about doing this is I don't have to worry about if I get my words straight. So by using my words on a little strip or on a punched piece, it's kind of my cheater way of making sure that everything is where it needs to be. So here we go. Let's flag that end, which I'm going to actually flag both ends this time. Oh, actually, you know what would be really cute? Let's flag the same end, and let's put it on the side of the inside instead of in the middle, just to kind of keep the flow of what we were doing on the front. So now we will do it like that. I like that. I like the unexpected in cards. I think it just brings that sense of, almost like a sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? Wonder's probably a little bit too strong. Maybe a sense of whimsy, which really goes well with this whole design. So there, I have plenty of room to write something inside, to sign it, to write something inside. So you can just think about somebody receiving this that says, I like you a lot. It's like a little, except a lot. And then this is something that is, I could send anytime during the winter. December, January, February, this would be a great card to send somebody. And this is the beauty of this whole Penguin Place suite, is that it's not just for Christmas. It's for birthdays. It's for just sending a little card to let somebody know that you're thinking about them and you really think they're something special. I like you a lot. You like the tag on the inside. I'm so glad, Lisa. You know, I do that quite a bit because this time I actually stamped it in the center and did pretty well. But even, you know, getting that just right, getting it straight and all the rest of it, it also just adds that little bit of something in there. It's a little tag in there. So hopefully that's something you guys can take and use in your card making as well. Okay, well that is it for today. Quick and easy cards. We did two. We did simple and we did stepped up, and that is what we do every Thursday. We start with stamps, ink, and paper, and then we move to something a little bit more stepped up. I realized, I think when I brought the camera up, probably see my stocking feet. I'm working in my socks. So be sure to do your orders at $50 increments all during this month and all through September, because for every $50 that you spend in product, anything at all, you get a free item. And so if your order is at $45, top it up, you know, put an adhesive or something on there, put some sequins or something on there so that you'll get a free item. And I think that you should choose this Penguin Playmates. I think it's a great one to choose. I think you'll really enjoy using it for cards that you can use really all through December, January, February, and even into November. Now see, I'm in Texas and we don't get super hard winters, but this kind of scene, I think, you know, if you're in Canada or if you're in the Northeast or even probably even the Northwest, I think this kind of scene in November is even appropriate. So, and with that little fox, because see, they just have their little scarves on and that little fox is so cute. So, okay, I won't go on and on anymore about the Penguin Playmates and their cuteness overload. So thanks again for watching. Be sure to share my video. It helps me so much. Make sure that you are placing celebration orders. I'll put my host code on here when I tag the, when I put my little title on my video here. So if you don't have a demonstrator or you're not a demonstrator, just plug that host code in to Stampinup.com. It'll automatically go to me as far as a demonstrator, and then I can send you a little gift as a thank you for placing your order with me. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to comment if you watch the replay. Don't forget, I'll be here Tuesday for Teach Me Tuesday. Take care and God bless.